Hello and welcome on this new late week analysis video from Xtreme Trader. This is Salah speaking. So of course I'm totally aware that most of the signals which I have sent you last midweek analysis video have failed. As you can see, almost all of them have actually failed except for the USDJPY, which has reversed exactly from the given price and went in currently actually in about 200 pips of profit. This was the only good signal. The rest of course have failed. Now again, this is normal, that might happen, and those who have been following me for many years, they know very well that many of my signals, or actually most of the time, my signals are actually accurate, very accurate actually, and going in a good profit and have a high accuracy levels. However, unfortunately this week was not one of them. So hopefully in this late week analysis video, I will do the best I can to recover most of the losses. But the important thing here to mention is, it's completely a different story in the VIP group of Telegram. Now let me just share with you the new updated version of the signals, because it's really awesome and so profitable for those who are actually seeking day trading signals and profitable ones. Now as you can see, the signals no longer have the fixed 50 pips of stop loss or 45. That is of course in the past, it's no more being used. Now the new stop losses are varying between 10 to 35 pips of loss. In very rare signals, it's gonna be 45 as maximum, but that's very rare. For example, here the stop loss was 20 pips only, and then the next signal, it was also another 25 pips, as you can see. Then the beautiful thing here is the AUDUSD signal take profit number 1 is 50 pips, which means this one signal has recovered both of the previous 20 and 25 pips of loss, and that was only take profit number 1. Also for the pound AUD, take profit number 1 is 36 pips. Now the signals have changed. The take profit number 1 can be varying between 20 or even 100 pips of profit. That's for take profit number 1 again. Let's see now again what happened. Take profit number 1 here, 30 pips. Take profit number 2, 99 pips. Take profit number 2, 110 pips. And as you can see, my friends, the profits are much bigger than the losses, and that's the reason right now the VIP signals are so profitable right now to the clients. As you can see, pound USD hit the stop loss with only 20 pips and so on. So amazing, outstanding performance, and I'm so happy and so grateful for the signals, and I believe they are doing very well, even better than the free YouTube signals. The VIP group is now really profitable more than ever, and I'm so happy for the clients who actually have enjoyed this experience, and so far surely they are making some decent profits. So of course, if you wish to join Xtreme Trader Forex Signals group, please contact our support. You can find their contact details in the description below this video. Contact them today and hopefully we will see you there. But for now, let's now discuss the late week analysis video, and let's discuss what we can do in the remaining days of this week. And let's now begin with the Euro USD. So of course we have to get rid of the old signal. Now the DXY index price has actually changed. Actually, my original analysis for the DXY said that the DXY is actually going to continue the fall, the DXY, the dollar index. It was supposed to continue falling. Then I saw one bullish candle on it, and I thought, okay, so the direction has changed, and let's now change the analysis. But unfortunately, this candle was actually a fake breakout, and the dollar just kept falling exactly as I have predicted in the past. So I have fallen, of course, to the trap of the fake breakouts. I will do the best I can, of course, to avoid it. That's my own mistake. And again, my friends, I'm really sorry if anyone who have lost money with these signals. I will do the best I can to recover. So regarding the Euro USD, now on the daily chart, we can notice here the clear breakout from that level of a previous resistance at 1.09252. These were the candles of Tuesday and Wednesday. Oh, sorry, this is Wednesday and Thursday right now, today. And as you can see, it's a very strong bullish candle, which means the Euro USD actually still has the potential to continue rising till it reaches the real level of the resistance right here as 1.11178. That's going to be the target. That's going to be where we are actually aiming to reach with buying the Euro USD. Now the question is, where exactly we can start buying this pair? Before answering that, we have to mention something highly important, and let me show it to you. The news. The news, my friends, are highly important and we can never ignore them. Today at 4 p.m. Dubai time, at 12 p.m. GMT time, we will be having the Bank of England Monetary Policy Report and the official bank rate. These news will definitely change the direction of the pound. It actually can change entirely the signal, or it can push it to reach the take profit level. No one knows what is the outcome of this news. So it's very important to keep your eye on the news and of course close any open trade during this news. You don't want to keep any trade running during the news. We highly recommend you guys to avoid trading during the news. And tomorrow on Friday, of course, we will be having the unemployment rate and the non-farm payroll for the USD pairs at 5:30 Dubai time, 1:30 p.m. GMT time. So again, all of the signals which I'm about to send you right now, please be careful about the news and just make sure to close them accordingly to avoid any sudden losses. I have done my part here of telling you. It's really up to you right now, my friends, how to handle these signals. Anyway, regarding the EURUSD, we have already decided the take profit level. Now the question is where exactly we can start buying this pair. Let's now, and on the daily chart, rely on the trend lines. So what I'm going to do is simply draw a trend line right from this lower high to this higher high, just like that. Fantastic. Now what I will do next is simply drag the very same support resistance trend line and place it just right there at the next support trend line. As you can see, my friends, this was the support trend line and this was of course the bullish breakout, which means, sorry about that, which means the EURUSD is most likely going to reverse upon the current the pressure of the resistance at 1.10223, and most likely is going to make a pullback right now and falls all the way. And I think that support trend line is most likely going to be respected and it's going to reverse exactly from that point. So based on the daily chart, we can see that the EURUSD still has a potential to fall for about 60 pips. Now, of course, that's not practical. Let's just move now to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, we will be able to see a clearer level of where exactly we can start buying this pair. Now we need to identify the strongest support level on horizontal level, exactly just like that. Now let me just zoom in. Yes, exactly. Now check this out, my friends. This was of course the nearest strong key support level to the current price. Now all we need to do is simply draw here the horizontal line and place it exactly at that support right here. And as you can see, this was of course a real level of a support for multiple times. Then we had here the fake breakout number 1 and another fake breakouts for multiple times actually. Now moving to the current price, as you can see, they're almost matching up. Therefore, and by seeing this trend line right here, we can, I think, safely start buying the EURUSD exactly after it fall for about 47 pips at 1.09756. That's going to be the best level to start buying this pair. And we can actually expect from it to be ranging a little bit more just to reach the support trend line. So that being said, the take profit level, as we have stated earlier. Oh, did we delete it? I think I have deleted that. Let me just put it again, just like that. That's gonna be the take profit level exactly right there. So meaning actually the take profit number 1 is take profit number 1. I mean the take profit level is gonna be about 142 pips of profit. Meanwhile, the safe zone is gonna be ranging just till the edge of the nearest resistance to the bullish breakout candle at 1.09108, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 60 pips against 140 pips of profit. Moving now to the pound USD. Alright, so of course let's get rid of the old signal for the pound USD. It's obviously no more valid. And let's see now what we can do next with this pair. Now let's move to the daily chart. Now on the daily chart, we can see, my friends, of course, a real rejection right here to break out from that long-term support at 1.22879. Again, we are right now on the daily chart, and right now we are having here that support trend line. And check this out. So clearly we had here a real level of a support trend line, another real level, and then we had here the fake breakout, and again the same level of a real support trend line has been respected repeatedly over and over, which means now the pound USD has a potential to continue the rise and to break out from the current resistance right here at 1.24412. Now, as we can see, the pound USD actually is getting trapped in this channel, or this triangle. Let me just make it clear for you, just like that. Fantastic, just like that. So we're having now this triangle, and the pound USD seems like it's getting trapped in it. It's getting more and more narrow, and I think the price explosion is going to be obviously to the up direction, because the market has been rejected from the breakout from that support. Now the question is where exactly we can start buying the pound USD. Now let's move to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, we can see clearly a strong key support level right here. Exactly. Let me just be more accurate. Exactly, just like that, at 1.23542. That's of course a clear level of a support, which is the nearest one to that bullish breakout candle. And if I draw here a support trend line, just like that, that's the correct way. Now, as you can see, if I drag the same support trend line just like that, check this out. This is, of course, the nearest strong key support trend line to the current price. And if the market is going to make here a pullback upon the pressure, of course, from the resistance right here at 1.24170, it's going to, of course, respect that support trend line, and afterwards it's going to continue the rise. That's the signal that I will enter myself on my real account today, which means we have to wait for the market to fall for about 40 pips before we can start buying the pair. And now regarding the take profit level, let me just switch back to the daily chart. And on the daily chart, we can see clearly that we're having right here exactly the nearest resistance to the current price at 1.25726, which means our take profit level is going to be approximately 217 pips, hopefully gonna be in good profit. Meanwhile, the safe zone is gonna be ranging just till the absolute lowest level of the current support at 1.22695, which means the safe zone is ranging for, that's quite a lot. That's better. The safe zone is ranging for about 60 pips against 216 pips of profit. Moving now to the AUDUSD. Alright, so let's of course delete the old signal for this pair, and let's see what we'll do with the AUDUSD. Moving to the daily chart. Now again, the daily chart is very clear. This strong bullish breakout from that long-term resistance at 0.71283. Now, that current price action right here tells us that the AUDUSD has a potential to continue the rise. That price action is very powerful actually, and very strong indicator, or actually a signal to start buying this pair. It's also important to mention that we're having here a resistance trend line, and as you can see, that resistance trend line has recently been broken out from with that bullish breakout candle, and what happened recently was simply the retest of that broken level of a resistance trend line and the creation of a new support trend line. That means that the AUDUSD is still going to continue the rise, and most likely the target is going to be right here, the absolute highest level of a resistance at 0.72331, which means the USDCAD still has about 87 pips more to go. The question is where exactly we can start buying this pair. Let's now move to the daily chart. Now on the daily chart, something very similar to the pound USD right here. Exactly right there, we're having a strong key support level, which was the nearest one to that bullish breakout candle. So this was, of course, the nearest strong key support level, as you can see, at 0.70948, which means we can actually expect from the AUDUSD to fall for about 50 pips before we can start buying it. Now, let's confirm this entry using the trend lines. Now, what I will do is simply draw here a support trend line. Actually, you can choose any point if you want. Any point of your choice. That's the beautiful thing of using the magic of trend lines. I will just connect a trend line from this lower high to this higher high, just like that. And now I will just drag the very same support trend line and just place it exactly right there. Check this out. So this was, of course, a previous resistance trend line, which has become a new support trend line. And as we can see, the market has indeed been respecting that level over time. And recently we had one single and shy attempt of a resistance trend line, which has been followed instantly with a strong bullish breakout candle. Now, if the market will fall again right here, most likely that support trend line is gonna be respected once again. If you don't trust drawing the support trend line at some place and then drag it somewhere else, there is absolutely no problem at all. What you can do, my friends, is simply draw here another support trend line from the absolute lowest level of the structure, and check this out. It's almost the same. It's really the same. As you can see, this is the right way to draw the support trend line. We had here, let me just make sure it's clear for you. Just like that. That makes more sense, right? Now we are having that support trend line, which has been repeatedly respected, and again we can start buying the AUDUSD once it falls all the way, falling to that to respect that level of a support and to respect that support trend line. Which means, did I delete the take profit level? Wait a minute. The take profit level, as we have stated earlier, gonna be placed just right there at the nearest resistance, exactly at 0.72293. Meanwhile, the entry is gonna be placed exactly at 0.70948, and the safe zone that shouldn't actually be ranging lower than this level of a support at 0.70341, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 58 pips against 135 pips of profits. Let's now move to the USDCAD. Alright, so of course we have to get rid of this old signal. It's no more valid. As you can see, it has completely been a big failure, unfortunately. Anyway, let's see now what we can do next with this pair. Now moving to the daily chart. Now on the daily chart, we can see here a very strong pressure from that downtrend, and as you can see, the market indeed respecting that downtrend, and that channel right here is obviously being respected. The market has actually been ranging inside of this channel for a really long time, and also we are having here that support trend line, which has recently been broken out from. As you can see, that support trend line has been broken out from with that bearish breakout candle, and the market has already retested the broken level of a support trend line and created a new resistance trend line. And of course, that channel right here, or actually that trend line, resistance trend line, has multiple times been respected. All of that together indicates that the USDCAD has only one direction to go, which is the down. Most likely, my friends, we will actually be aiming absolutely the lowest level of a support right here, exactly at 1.3221. On a bigger time scale, of course, on daily chart, that's the absolute lowest level of the support, exactly right there, which means the USDCAD still has about 54 pips more to go, but most likely the pair is going to make another pullback where exactly we can start shorting the pair. The question is where exactly. Now let's move to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, all we need to do is simply identifying the strongest the nearest strong resistance level to the current price. Now as you can see right here, if I scroll to the left side, we're having here a resistance exactly right there as 1.33272, which was of course previously a very strong key support level for multiple times, and then we had here the fake breakout, and finally we had here the bearish breakout, and this these two candles actually represents the resistance number 1, which means the USDCAD at the moment, I think, still has a potential to continue rising for about 50 pips. Now the question is, can it really reverse at the moment? Is there a strong support at the structure or at the current price? Well, we cannot actually ignore that the market right now is actually facing that support trend line right here, which means if we check the resistance trend line along with the support trend line, now what we can see right here is the triangle, and the market is actually approaching the what we call the bottleneck. Most likely, after being trapped inside of this triangle for a really long time, the market actually might make a pullback right here upon the pressure from that support trend line. It's gonna rise again, and most likely is gonna be respecting the current resistance right there exactly, and the resistance trend line as well, and afterwards the USDCAD is actually gonna continue the fall, aiming the absolute lowest level of the support right there. So again, we actually depending right now on the pullback upon the pressure from the current support trend line to continue rising, and from that point we will sell the USDCAD. I just had to explain it again on a clear chart. Anyway, let's now zoom in, and I think, my friends, we can safely start shorting the USDCAD just exactly right there at 1.33204, which means we have to wait for the market to rise for about 43 pips before we can start shorting it, and actually our target is going to be approximately 94 pips of profit. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging higher than this level of a resistance right here at 1.33714, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 50 pips against 92 pips of profit. Moving now to the USDJPY. Alright, so the USDJPY signal is really going well, currently running in about 183 pips of profit. However, I cannot brag about the signal, of course, considering that almost all of the other signals have actually failed, but still it was at least a winning signal out of the other 7 signals. Now let's see what we can do next with this pair. Now let's go back to the daily chart. Now on the daily chart, as we can see, my friends, I've actually told you before that once we see this price action right here, it's a good indicator for the market to continue the rise, and that is exactly what happened. The market has actually rose again, has of course. However, it has of course reversed again upon the pressure from the current strong previous key support level at 130.860, and now it has created a new resistance, and as you can see, the bearish movement has begun. Now that means that the USDJPY actually has a potential to continue the fall. If we draw here a support trend line, of course, we can see that the market right now is actually on the edge of the support trend line, but we cannot ignore that we're having right here also a triangle, and again we're having another triangle which has trapped the price or the market, and right now we are approaching the bottleneck. Now, considering the strength of the downtrend, I believe that the USDJPY is actually going to continue the fall and to break out from the triangle, and the target is going to be the absolute lowest level of the support at 126.306. I cannot see actually the USDJPY at the moment making a pullback right here. It doesn't make sense to me, especially that we are not having here any strong key support level on the horizon. And the resistance trend line right here is actually much stronger and controls the market at the moment. I think the bears are controlling the USDJPY at the moment. That means we have to consider shorting this pair. Now the question is where exactly we can start shorting it. Now let's just keep the take profit level at 126.552, which means the USDJPY still has about 200 pips more to go. Now moving to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, we can see right here a current support level, and we can actually expect a pullback right here upon the pressure from that previous support. However, right now we can see that the market has of course formed here a strong key resistance level exactly at 128.836. And if I want to use the trend lines just to confirm this entry, what I will do simply, my friends, is just draw here a resistance trend line just like that. Exactly, just like this. And what I will do next is simply drag all the same resistance trend line all the way right there exactly. Now, why right here? Because right here we can see the real level of a support trend line, then a fake breakout, and again another real attempt of a support trend line over multiple times. Then finally we had here the bearish breakout. Now that actually indicates that most likely if the USDJPY is going to be able to make a pullback, first of all, the new resistance right here is going to be, the old resistance right here is going to be respected, and also the new resistance trend line is going to be created as well, because it's going to be after the appearance of that, or actually after the breakout from that support trend line, the market is going to make a new resistance trend line. So that being said, we have to wait for the USDJPY to rise for about 37 pips before we can start shorting it. That's the right way in my opinion. And as we can see, we can actually aim 228 pips of profit. Meanwhile, the safe zone is going to be ranging just till the peak of the nearest resistance to the entry, exactly right here at 129.701, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 87 pips against 230 of profits. Let's now move to the USDCHF. Okay, so of course this signal is no more valid. Let me just delete it right now and let's see what we can do next with the USDCHF. So right now, if I go to the daily chart, now I think we need to go to the weekly chart. Now, as you can see, my friends, even on the weekly chart, we are having right here this current week candle is a very strong bearish candle, and most likely it seems like it's going to continue the fall. And if I'm not mistaken, the final target at least is going to be right here, the nearest strong key support level to the current price at 901.87, which means the USDCHF still has about 51 pips more to go. But we can still expect here a pullback, because if we look at the current price action right here, let me just go to the daily chart to show it to you, and let me just scroll to the left right here exactly. Actually, I saw it before right here exactly right there. Oh, the market has already fallen below that level, because we're having here that real level of a support, which has become a real level of a resistance. It was also a real level of a resistance. Then we had here one fake breakout, and then the market right now is actually falling and seems like it's going to be respecting that level of a real support right there. So most likely the USDCHF is indeed going to make another pullback. Now the question is where exactly we can start shorting this pair. The answer is simply to identify the broken level of a support and resistance, and based on that we can start shorting the USDCHF. Let me just squeeze the chart a little bit more. Now what I need to do is, of course, is I just need to zoom out like that, and as we can see right here, we're having that support trend line from this lower low all the way to this broken level of a support trend line. Just like that. Now let's zoom in again, and as you can see, my friends, the market is actually falling, and most likely it's gonna rise again for about 30 pips to retest the broken level of a support trend line. Now the question is there any resistance level on the left side that we can rely on? The answer should be yes. Let me just zoom in again and just scroll more to the left side, and I'm trying to find the nearest strong key resistance level to the entry, and that can be seen exactly right there. Check out this level, 0.90954. That was, of course, a strong resistance in the past. As we can see, it was a real level of a resistance. It became, of course, a strong key support level then later. And if we scroll to the right side, we can notice it was, of course, a broken level of a support. Right now, we can expect actually from the market to rise again, retesting the broken level of a support trend line. Now, of course, that means we have to wait for the USDCHF to rise again for about 30 pips before we can start shorting it. And if we do that, we can actually keep the trade running and aiming about 77 pips. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging higher than the previous support right here at 0.91480, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 40 or 50 pips, I would say, against 75 pips of profit. Let's now move to the gold. And I have to be really careful with my analyzing to the gold right now, because I'm sure many of you guys are actually focusing on this pair. And I will do the best I can to give you the best analysis ever for the gold, and hopefully, of course, it's gonna be a good one. But again, keep in mind that tomorrow we're having the non-farm payroll and the unemployment rate news for the dollar. So please be careful again, I'm telling you. And of course, it's gonna be nice, guys, if you again if you click the if you hit the like button, and of course subscribe to the channel and share the video. I will really appreciate your efforts here, because I'm doing here a really hard work, and all I'm asking you in return is to just hit the like button. So again, thank you in advance if you have done that, and thank you in advance if you did not, of course. Just watching my videos here and giving me your time actually means a lot to me. Anyway, regarding the gold right now, the first thing that I can see right here is, of course, the bullish breakout from the current resistance trend line right here. And as you can see, that was the absolute highest level of the gold when it has ever reached, February 22. March 2022. And as you can see, the market has actually formed another resistance trend line, but it was, of course, very weak. Compare how many pips the gold has fallen upon the pressure from the first resistance trend line, and how many pips it fall upon the second one. So of course right now the gold is moving in a very strong bullish trend, and I think that resistance trend line is most likely gonna become a new support trend line. That's for a starter. Which means at some point right here we have to find a strong key support level to start buying the gold from. Now if we look at this support level right here, let me just zoom in to show it to you, and scroll, switch now to the 4-hour time frame. Let's just scroll to the left side, and as you can see, my friends, this was, of course, the nearest strong key support level, exactly at 1942.24. That level cannot be simply ignored. If we scroll to the right side, sorry, it became, of course, as we can see, a real level of a resistance. Meanwhile, we had here the fake breakout. That means that most likely the gold is indeed going to continue the fall, and that support resistance trend line is going to become a new support trend line, and that previous resistance is going to become a new support as well. But that's not everything. If we draw here, of course, a support trend line from any point, from this point right here, and drag it all the way like this, That is perfect. Now we can see clearly that this support trend line has been respected right here repeatedly. Then we had here one fake breakout, and then the market has finally broke out again. So therefore, that support trend line, let me just delete these sketches. That support trend line right here is most likely gonna be respected again. Another way to confirm this is, of course, by draw here a support trend line from this lower low all the way to this higher low, just like that. Fantastic. I mean, all of that together indicates that the gold indeed gonna continue the rise. As let me just make it accurate right here, just to make sure it's actually convenient, just like that. Perfect. So right here we have that support trend line, which has been repeated multiple times, and again we had here the fake breakout, and therefore if the gold is going to be able to make a pullback right here, that's going to be the best level to start buying the gold again from that point, and most likely that support trend line is going to be respected again. All of that together tells me that the gold, if it falls for another 123 pips, we can safely start buying it exactly from that point at, let me just write it for you, buy at 1942.24, and of course the safe zone is going to be ranging just till the lowest level of a support right here at 1924.23. That's going to be the safe zone to start buying the gold, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 170 pips now for the take profit level. Now if we look at the daily chart, the take profit level, my friends, of course has to be at least the highest level of the resistance right here at 1966.31. The gold is actually approaching that level, still has about 100, absolutely 100 pips before reaching that level. But as you can see right now, the gold is actually facing a resistance level right here. That being said, I'm expecting from the gold to make a pullback upon the pressure from that resistance, and of course to retest the broken level of a resistance trend line to create also a new support trend line. And I believe the gold is going to continue rising from that point onward, which means the take profit level is going to be placed just right there at 1966.31. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the remaining days of this week. Again, I want to remind everyone that these signals, of course, subjective to be failed. I'm doing, of course, the best I can to give you the analysis. However, it's important to mention, of course, the news. This is the third time I am mentioning it in this video. The ISM PMI, the non-farm payroll and unemployment rate news on Friday afternoon gonna be out. So please consider closing all of these signals before the news hit the market. And of course for today, close the pound signal if you have opened any upon the pressure, of course upon the actual forecast news, which is gonna happen today for the pound. So again, I wish everyone a happy weekend in advance and a safe trading days. And until then, I hope that was informative to you, and I would like to thank you for watching.